Today I wanted to show you a new garden that has been established here at the Botanic Garden at OSU, and it was actually built by the student workers here, including Jay Pirtle. Jay, this is sort of your idea, right?
Just a little bit, yeah.
So tell us, that we've got a fairy garden here. You converted the native garden. It was getting a little overgrown, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the natives are still around, but let's talk about what you did to establish a fairy garden. Why a fairy garden, first of all?
Well, we had a broken bridge here that we had to take out, and that left us with an area that was too small to really do a whole lot with, but too big to let go to waste. So I remembered going to a family friend's house when I was really young, and I could have sworn that her entire backyard was a fairy garden. But then going there when I was older, I recognized that it was no bigger than this area right here. So when I saw this empty space, I thought it would be a perfect size to put in a fairy garden.
It's kind of magical when you're a kid to experience things like that. Just the scale of it seems so big, right? So, of course, we have a lot of kids around here, so I think this is a perfect fit for the Botanic Garden. Tell me a little bit about what some of the features are. I'm constantly seeing new things in here.
Well, that's kind of the point. We want it to be almost like a scavenger hunt. There's a lot of little trinkets all throughout the gardens, and you can even find little fairy figurines and everything throughout here. So it's really just a chance for the kids to come in here and interact with the plant life and really get up close and personal with it.
Yeah, I see kids out here all the time exploring and in fact moving some of the things around like a playhouse almost, but you've got different scenes set up. So talk to me a little bit about some of the natural elements that you use to incorporate those scenes as well.
Well, one of the important things about fairy garden is scale, and so making sure that if you have a door that's like a couple inches big, then you don't have a fairy that's like a foot tall,
Okay.
you know? And so we just took some of the logs around from the compost pile, and we put little doors on them and little windows and decorations and everything to make little homes for the fairies.
Of course, they need homes. Well, and I love how you've even got stuff, even in our large magnolia tree that's behind us, there's different features that are up in that tree to discover as well.
Trees are a great opportunity to have a fairy garden. Even if it's just a foot around the base, you can have little figurines and little plants all up and down the tree. And so you can have lots of little hidden things to find.
Now, I know you can buy things to add to your fairy garden, obviously, but you've made a lot of these things as well.
Crafting is one of the best parts about fairy gardens. You can really take anything around your house. Even if you have just a square piece of wood, stick a button on there and you have a door. You can make bridges out of popsicle sticks or whatever your creativity can really build up.
Excellent. Well, let's talk a little bit about the plant material. While there are some natives left over from the previous garden, there seems to be a lot of unique things. I love this Sori series periwinkle behind us. It's got the more dainty flowers, and a lot of them seem to have smaller flowers. Was there some intention behind that?
Yeah, what you're trying to do is create a forest for these little fairies. And so you want to have plants that if you were an inch tall, they would look like massive trees to you. But you don't want to fill up your fairy garden with like green and plants like that. You want it to be as colorful as possible. So you can add things like globe amaranth or honey dot or the tassel flower to give a lot of color to the gardens, or you can add things like the corkscrew willow that just looks so whimsical.
Definitely. Well, you've got a lot of texture, a lot of color, and a lot of just fun things to find in this garden, and I know the kids love it. So thanks for this addition to the Botanic Gardens.
Thank you.
Thanks. We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.